Do you want the dark stories or do you want the enjoyment stories? Every time you went on patrol, you expected to get contact of some description, if not once, maybe twice, even 3 times. So either somebody shooting at you, or bombs going off, or riots, whatever that you had to deal with. Some of them were all right. Some were unpleasant to see.
Nice, I'm glad. So how are you this morning?
It's a hub where veterans can come together and support each other, really. So something to look forward to. Christine and Olivia that run this place very kindly offered to let us use it on a Thursday as a drop-in for veterans. So I joined at the beginning of 1983 at RAF Swinderby. I was in the Air Cadets before then, always wanted to join the Royal Air Force. I used to build model aircraft when I was a kid, hang them from the ceiling, you know. I was very proud. I know my parents were very proud of me, obviously, and my grandparents.
This copper, right, stops right behind me. That gives me a bleeding ticket. Yeah. For being on the zigzag lines. Which programme was that from?
I first joined up in military service in 1981. It made me feel like I was back as a child doing my scouting. Again, when I was a scout as a kid, it was something you enjoyed, you know. It's like an adventure.
I didn't see any future for me in a civilian sense. I wanted to travel, see the world, and it sounded like the ideal opportunity to do it.
Keep it blue. Keep it blue. There's no buttons on it. I'd gone to London, so nobody would try and stop me. I went to the Royal Navy first, and they said, "You're not going on the ship." I said, "Oh, that was the whole idea. I want to go on board ship." So then I went along to the Merchant Navy. I want to see a bit of the world and see how someone else is going to pay for me to do it. I was everybody's friend and nobody's lover. I just wanted to get off the ship and see a bit of the world. But many crew people, they go to the first pub. And I wanted to look in the shop windows and see how other people lived. Go and have a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. And as long as I had my knitting, I was okay.
No more than 12. I'd leave in, say, 6 to the 6.
My tours in Ireland were a bit grim at times, because they were the times when there was real civil unrest in Ireland at the time, in the early 70s. Saw things that really were very unpleasant. to experience, if you like. There's always civilian casualties, always. And it's not so much with what you do, you personally, it's what you see that causes biggest majority of the trauma. It's not nice getting called out to when a bomb's gone off and you turn up and there's women and kids lying in pieces on the streets that you see. They're just going about their daily business and something like that happens. I have some very, very dark moments at times. There are trigger points that cause it. Certain things can happen. It'll trigger me PTSD off. There's certain things I can't do and I have to abstain from. I can't travel on public transport. That's a trigger to me, especially if it's crowded. I will not travel on public transport. Find it very, very difficult to ever go anywhere near there, or busy shopping centres. It's just something I have to learn to deal with.
I suppose the Falklands were still classed as a war zone. We're all still sleeping with our SLRs there at the time, and a couple of people down there had obviously walked into minefields, because I don't think they got cleared until either last year or the year before that. Yeah, so it was just seeing the devastation down there, really, I think, and what actually happened to those people, to those brothers and sisters that I'd served with. Yeah, it wasn't a nice thing to see, if you know what I mean. The aftermath of war, should I say.
Thrown out of the gate. Once I went through them gates, for years, I never had any contact with them whatsoever, with the forces.
So you were just thrown out there and basically left to do your own thing, if you understand what I mean. And it's really hard after you've been in a job that everything's sort of you're told what to do, if you understand what I mean. So I wasn't that good with money, bills and the rest of it.
I was sick. Maggie Thatcher had robbed me of my life, and she got rid of the fleet. I had to pay my own tax, my own insurance, and I said, no, this is not secure enough for me. And I was lost. Lost in Civvy Street.
I'm getting help with my PTSD. They've come to the fore, and then the fact that the military side of things, I had a friend of mine that 2 years ago on a Christmas Eve, he'd taken his own life. He was my corporal in my unit. And I just cried and said, your dad was no coward. He was no coward to take his own life.
Yeah, really crap.
I certainly do think they can do a lot more to help veterans by cutting a lot of the red tape that's involved in accessing housing, jobs, and take their own responsibility in looking after the veterans once they've left. It's like you've got to prove yourself all over again to get anywhere. And then when they've come back, basically they've forgotten.
Some sorrow and shame. The price that was paid we will always remember every day, every month. not just in November. We will remember them.
There's hardly near to no support at all for veterans from the government at the moment. I can't see that much happening in the future apart from they've decided to give us all an ID card, which I don't know what that's going to do, to be fair. Right, okay. Well, I need to sort out with Dave when we're coming over and sort them the bottles you wanted to take in there. I'll have a word with Dave and we'll sort that out as well, okay?
Well, if obstacles get in the way, I'll sit down and I'll have a cry and say, tomorrow is another day, but I won't quit. Don't quit.
can't quit, you know what I mean?
No.
It's gone too far to quit.
It wasn't how it made me feel, it was the people, the veterans there. They welcomed me with open arms and I wanted to cry. Yes, darling.
You've got each other to
Push it to the back of your head.
Bring you out of it, you know what I mean? So you don't even feel like you've watched it because you've got the same guy next to you who's doing the same thing as you know what I mean?
Well, when you're serving, they say, push it to the back of your head, things will be all right tomorrow.
Yeah.
And hence, that's where the thing is. Live for the day you're in, worry about tomorrow. It's part of my therapy now. I get great pleasure coming here on a Thursday, mixing with other veterans, having a bit of banter, a laugh, a joke, a brew, helping other veterans to have a better life than they're living at the moment.
You love it, don't you?
I know. Centre of attention.
Yeah.
Does your morale good.
Yeah. Something like that. To be recognised by the government, they wouldn't need to spend X amounts of monies because all they'd have to do is support that hub.
It would be good if there was somewhere that was open for longer hours maybe, or more days a week, but that's all down to financial, and obviously the hub has to rely on whatever they make in the cafe, really, in the Naffy Cafe there.
It's taking a lot more of my time, because I mean, all right, we're only open on Thursdays initially, but people have access to our phone number, our personal phone numbers, which we pay for out of our own pockets. It doesn't come from government or anybody like that. Our fuel bills for cars, transport, we're taught to look after our bodies. And that has a big impact on life. And I suppose that's what we're doing with this hub.
We had was Derek, and that was, well, at the time, because we were everywhere, you know what I mean, we went everywhere. Yeah, we did. And D Company. Well, we got hit in Derek in October, 90.
We got it as well, twice we got it.
Yeah, 5 lads, 3 lads out of the anti-tanks and 2 lads out of mortars. It was my multiple.
There's an old saying, you never leave a buddy on the battlefield. He comes back with you, he went there with you, and he comes back with you, regardless of the situation. Life's hard, and we're here for one another. And that's what counts.